Hello everyone. Today we are going to continue the remaining part of chapter 2, The Age of New Kingdom. In the previous class, we have studied about different dynasties like the Gurjaras Pratiharas of Western India, the Palas of Bengal, and the Rashtrakutas of Northwestern. These all dynasties were in constant struggle for the control of Kannauj because Kannauj was very prosperous in terms of trade and agriculture. Now, topics to be covered in this session: foreign invasions, the Ghaznavids, the Ghurids, about South India, who were the Cholas, about their administration system, revenue system, military developments, contribution of the Cholas, and at the end of the class, recapitulation. Now, foreign invasions. Foreign invasions means enter a country or a region with the help of armed forces just to occupy or control it. The mountain passes in the northwest have always been a route through which many invaders have entered in India. The invaders Mahmud of Ghazni and Muhammad Ghori. These two were the major invaders of the early medieval period. Now, let's talk about the Ghaznavids. Mahmud Ghazni from present-day Afghanistan was the first invader, was the first attacker who stormed the mountain passes of the north to set up a kingdom in India. He came India just to set up a kingdom from north. He was a very ambitious ruler who wanted to make Ghazni the most powerful kingdom in Central Asia. Ghazni is a place in Afghanistan, and he wanted to make Ghazni the most powerful kingdom. To do this, he needed plenty of wealth, a lots of wealth needed for this. Therefore, he not only attacked places like Punjab, Peshawar, Multan, Kannauj and the Somnath temple, but also took skilled craftsmen to Ghazni. Mahmud attacked India 17 times between 1000 and 1027 CE. When Mahmud Ghazni got the opportunity, he attacked the Somnath temple and amassed as much wealth as possible. He was very fascinated with the statue of the deity which was suspended in the middle with no support. The temple had a lot of gold and silver which Mahmud looted before returning to Ghazni. He was an excellent general and planned his invasions very well. He took all wealth back and beautified his hometown Ghazni. His empire has been credited with spreading Islam in India. Means in India, Islam is spreaded by Mahmud Ghazni. The empire covering Iran, Turkmenistan, Afghanistan, Uzbekistan, Pakistan and northwest India. However, the empire disintegrated by 1040 CE, means it is break up into small parts as the result of impact or decay. Now, let's talk about Ghurids. Gaur was a small kingdom in present-day Afghanistan and under the control and leadership of the Ghaznavid Empire. Earlier, Gaur was under the control of Ghaznavid Empire. Mahmud Ghori was an ambitious ruler whose main objective was not only to amass wealth but also to build a great empire. His main objective was not only to gather wealth from India but also to build a great empire. In 1173 CE, he brought an end to the Ghaznavid Empire and began the new era of the Ghurid Empire. He was successful in his campaign in Multan in 1175 CE and conquered it. However, he was not successful in his invasion of Gujarat. He was intelligent enough to realize that a firm foundation was utmost importance for future conquest in India. He knew this very well that if he want to establish in India, he need a strong foundation just to establish his kingdom in India. Therefore, he conquered Punjab and established a base in India. Now, Prithviraj Chauhan, the Rajput ruler of Delhi and Ajmer, was prepared to challenge Muhammad Ghori, and they clashed at Tehran in 1191 CE, where Muhammad Ghori was defeated. Tehran is the name of place in Haryana. He once again prepared himself for a war, and Prithviraj, who obtained the support of all the kings except for Raja Jayachand of Kannauj, could not match the effectiveness of the Turkish cavalry. Prithviraj was defeated in the Second Battle of Tehran in 1192 CE, and Muhammad took over the control of Delhi, the Ganga-Yamuna Doab. Doab means the land between the two rivers, Bihar and Bengal. He even defeated Jayachand in 1194 CE. He entrusted further conquest to his general Qutbuddin Aibak. Now let's talk about South India. In the Deccan, there were many other kingdoms that flourished like the Yadavas of Devagiri, the Chalukyas of Kalyani, the Kakaktiyas of Warangal, and the Hoysalas of Warangal. Yadavas, Chalukyas, Kalyani, Kakaktiyas, and the Hoysalas, these all are the name of dynasties. South India saw the rise of many powerful kingdoms like the Pallavas of Kanchi. Kanchi is a name of place in South India, who built many temples, and the Pandyas of Madurai. The Cholas emerged as the most powerful among them. Now, who were the Cholas? The Cholas dynasty was a Tamil dynasty of southern India, one of the longest ruling dynasty in the world of history. In the 9th century CE, a chieftain of the Palwas, Vijayalaya, ruled a small territory near Thanjavur. Thanjavur is a name of place in Tamil Nadu. Vijayalaya conquered Thanjavur and made it its capital. He founded the Imperial Chola Empire in the medieval period. Vijayalaya defeated the Pallavas of Kanchi and the ruler of Sri Lanka. Raja Chola was a powerful ruler who developed a powerful navy and sent an expedition to Maldives to conquer it. He also captured the northern part of Sri Lanka. He is believed to have defeated the Chalukyas of the Deccan. The city of Thanjavur was very magnificent with elaborate gardens and palaces. The Brihadeshwara temple built by Raja Chola first was in an example of the Chola architecture. He was succeeded by his son Rajendra Chola. Rajendra Chola first was considered one of the greatest rulers and military generals of India. He was also called Gangai Kondan because he defeated ruler of Bengal after crossing the river Ganga. The temple built by him was called Gangaikonda Cholapuram. Now, let's talk about administration system of Chola. The king was the central figure and headed the administration. The overall administration is under the hand of king. He was instrumental in issuing orders, and his orders were recorded in manuscript and later inscribed on the temple walls. The king was assisted in the affairs of the administration by officials. The loyal officials were given titles like Arayar and Muvendavelan. These officials served three royal dynasties: the Cheras, the Cholas, and the Pandyas. The main source of income was the tax levied on trade. Apart from this, taxes were also imposed on land, forest, mines, etc. Now, division of administration. The administration was divided into provinces called mandalams and valandu, which were governed by governors who were mainly princes. The mandalams were further divided into groups and called kuram, which was the lowest unit. The towns were called nagarams. Let's talk about revenue system. Revenue means income. The land revenue was the chief source of income. A proper survey of lands was carried out and lands were classified as taxable and non-taxable. Taxes were also imposed on trade and other professions. The revenue was collected by local authorities or by royal servants. They collected all the kind of revenue. Besides land revenue, the Chola kings imposed many kinds of taxes, and these kinds of taxes is a part of revenue, is a part of income. Potters, goldsmiths, weavers, and brokers, amongst many more, were levied taxes as well. The transport of rice, textiles, and paper was also taxable. Now, let's talk about military development. The Cholas had an efficient military system. This has been mentioned in numerous Chola inscriptions. Rajaraja Chola first had created a strong and efficient army, which was further strengthened by his son Rajendra Chola first. Their army comprised elephants, cavalry, and infantry. Cavalry means soldiers who fought on horseback. Infantry means soldiers marching or fighting on foot. In fact, Arabian horses of superior quality was imported by them. The Cholas were amongst the first rulers to maintain a navy. They were the first rulers who maintained navy. This helped them defeat the Cheras and enabled them to control the Coromandel and Malabar coast. These two coasts belongs to South India. Now, contribution of the Cholas. The Cholas encouraged agriculture. They encouraged agriculture. Canals were made for irrigation and embankments were made to prevent flooding. The affairs of agriculture and irrigation were looked after by specialized committees. The Chola government stood out for its distinctive qualities. They were the most unique and innovative and were the first rulers to bring the entire South India under their control. Rajaraja also encouraged the Sailendra ruler of Sri Vijaya to build a Buddhist vihara. Vihara is a Sanskrit and Pali term for a Buddhist monastery. At Nagapattinam. Nagapattinam is a town in Tamil Nadu. Now, let's recapitulate what we have done in this chapter. There were new kingdoms that emerged in the Indian subcontinent. Kannauj became prosperous during the 9th century. The Gurjara Pratiharas, the Palas, and the Rashtrakutas were important dynasties that emerged during this time. The Cholas made contributions in agriculture, irrigation, administration, and architecture. Mahmud Ghazni and Muhammad Ghori invaded India. Children, I hope you all very well understood this chapter. Thank you.